I'm rolling, you rolling? Pompi, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, let me start. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another session of The Playhouse. The man in front of the screen needs no introduction. And if you don't know him, Yani, I don't know what hole you've been living under. But if you don't know him, I'm excited for you because you're about to get introduced to a whole new chapter of life that you didn't know existed. And you're going to be like, that's what Zambians like saying in South Africans. Yo. How did I know that this guy existed?
I should be calling you to introduce me all the time.
I'm not even that yet, homie.
You'll be the chief introducer.
So, listen to this, just in case you're wondering who this is. The man in front of you has got about three single albums to his name and one collaborative albums. So I like to say that he's got 4 albums to his names. He's recorded a whole bunch of songs, and those songs together, I'm sure I can add up to another 3 albums. And we're going to be talking all about this. What a lot of people may not know, especially those who are maybe outside of Zambia, is that this guy is also a serious businessman who is moving and shaking in that department. When it comes to Zambian awards, he has scooped them all. We're going to be hearing about that. Not only that, when it comes to Kenya, he's also scooped. He's worked with different people from across Zambia, across Africa, and also across the world, all the way to people like Mali Music, Abel Chungu, Mag 44, and a whole bunch of others. If I start naming them, we're going to be just here listening to the intro. I'm excited about this conversation, super excited. He has been one of the most amazing hosts. Let me just put that there in case you're wondering how you're going to get hosted in Zambia. He has come through like the flu, and he's the reason why you guys are watching this. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for none other than Pompi!
Yeah.
I keep saying budget me tight.
Budget me tight.
So I have to do my own. Sound effects.
Your own sound effects. No, it's cool. It's cool.
And Pompi, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Super excited to have you here.
Yeah, no, excited to be here.
You've been coming all the different days that we've been shooting.
Yeah. It's actually weird that I'm now. I'm now the one in question now. But no, it's good to be here, man.
Excited, man. Thank you so much for the absolute amazing welcome in Zambia that we've had.
Thanks.
I credit it all to you. In fact, what a lot of guys don't know, we properly met 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So about 3 years ago in Uganda.
Yeah.
We got to live in the same house.
Yes.
And that's when I said, I have to interview this guy.
Wow.
Because I was asking you, your story.
Yeah.
And then you were telling me, and I was like, what? You did what? You are who? You are what? I was like, Then I came to Zambia, and then I was just like, I love this country.
Wow.
I'd had your music, but I hadn't had your story. So that's when I made a decision like, no. Wow. Whenever it happens, it will happen.
It will happen. Yeah, it's finally happened. Yeah.
And here we are. Okay, let's kick off this story because this one's going to be a long one.
Awesome.
Rules and regulations here are take it slow. We're in no hurry. If I have to come back to Zambia, no problem, I'll come back.
There's no, it's a long story. I can't use that expression.
No. And this is the place where you tell the long story. Man, 44 yesterday was like, 6 hours, bruh. But anyway, let's kick it off. So I normally like asking, where does your journey begin? When were you born? Where were you born? Let's start there.
I was born here in Lusaka, in a hospital called UTH.
Firstborn?
Last born.
Can I ask what year?
1986.
86?
1986, yeah.
86?
Yes, 86.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's shocking. I was waiting to hear like 81 with all that
you've
been able to do.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'll take that as a compliment. Thanks.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So 1986, here in Lusaka, I'm last born. I've got 3 sisters. I'm the only boy. Obviously, direct children of my parents. And I've got a brother, who a lot of people don't even know, but basically we brought him into the family.
Oh, nice.
His name is Kwenda. He's a pastor. He's a Baptist pastor.
Okay. Yeah. So you and your two boys, 3 girls, and of all of those, you're the last.
I'm the last. I was supposed to be the spoiled one. Yeah, but I don't believe in such cliches like the last born is the spoiled one. I don't think I was given the benefit of being spoiled.
So the 3 guys I've interviewed so far are all last borns.
Are you serious?
Abel's the last one.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Mark,
Oh, wow.
or
Oh, wow.
one of, I mean, boy
Yeah.
last one.
Yeah.
So there's something about you guys that is
Serious. We all choose to be artists.
Okay, so tell me about growing up in Zambia.
Growing up in Zambia has been. I mean, I call this place home. I think it's a very peaceful place.
Tell me about your primary and where you went to school.
Primary, I went to a school called, the first school I went to was Chadley House School. I think I was there till grade 7. Then I went to a school called Ibex Hill School, which was a boarding school.
High school.
That's, yes, high school.
Okay, in primary, even let's start at primary. So in
Yeah.
primary, do you have this love for music? Do you fall in love with music? In fact, maybe I should. Yeah, this time, are you doing any music? What are you listening to?
Nothing at all. In primary, I'm just a fan of music. In primary school, I'm just a fan of music. By no means would I have identified myself as a musician. No.
Okay.
I was just a fan of music. I listened to a lot of music and so many different kinds of music. I think that sort of molded the kind of artist I am today. I know a lot of artists say that, but genuinely I always brag like, no guys, I listen to a lot I listen to country music.
Whoa.
Where I'm like a fan. I listen to hip hop, I listen to reggae, I listen to
Are you listening to
gospel.
anything local?
Local, yes, I did listen to local, but I had select artists. Like one of my favorite artists was a gentleman called Israel, formerly Exile, but now called Israel. But yeah, I was a really big fan of music. So I was always, even in regards to I was that plug. Like if you want music, like you are searching for, like you're looking for new music, or like you're on a playlist of new music. I was that plug who would always be up to date with, like, you know, the music that's happening. As I grew older, I think my music selection began to become a bit more underground rather than mainstream.
Yo, okay.
So I liked artists who are not necessarily in the mainstream circles. But anyway, what always happened is that
They blow up.
They always like, yeah. I always say that I feel like I sort of identify a lot of artists because I knew Drake almost 4 years before everybody knew Drake.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would tell people, there's a guy, Drake, you know, it's crazy, you know. And then obviously 4 years later, and now obviously winning Artist of the Decade. So I always bragging about those things. Like I know people before they manifest.
That's good.
Or artists before they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a huge fan of music.
I heard you say you were listening to gospel. Does that mean you at this time are born again? Are you growing up in an environment that's born again?
No, at that time, of course, I would go to church.
You'd go to church, huh?
My mom would take us to church. But church was more like a chore. Like, oh, you know, you wake up in the morning, you wash your plates, you know, you go to church. you know, it wasn't something that I did out of conviction. It was just a duty. The same way, it's like a tag. You know, Christianity these days is like a tag. It's like a scarf you wear it, like, oh, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
You know.
Crazy. People may think your name is Pompi, but your name is actually not Pompi.
Yeah.
So what are your
my
government names?
My government names on my registration card is Chaka Nyathando, but the full names is actually Chaka Nyathando. Chaka is chair white, means the year has come.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go on to this. So in primary, you're just listening to a whole bunch of music, and then you go to this boarding school.
Yeah.
Is the boarding school also in Lusaka?
Boarding school was also in Lusaka. Yes.
What's it called?
Yes, it's called Ibex Hill School. Yeah.
Boys or mixed?
Mixed.
Couldn't do boys, huh?
No.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
how was that?
it was good. It was an amazing experience. I think boarding school, obviously from day school, when you go boarding schools, like now you are on your own. You know, I think boarding school to some extent. I have some issues with boarding school, but I think it has its advantages and its disadvantages. But I think boarding school sort of establishes that sense of independence to some extent.
Yeah, it does.
In a child, yeah. So boarding school was very different, a little different from what I knew. And yeah, I think in boarding school it was you had to. I felt that transition to boarding school, you had to sort of you had to now fit into society, into a community, and learn how to survive in that community without having a safe house of going home. You know, you have to find your people. Who are your people? Who are not your people? You know, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, boarding school. I was there for 2 years, and then after that, I went to a school called Baobab, which was. I was there as a day school. I was back to day school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this time, when you're in either of those schools, have you picked up music? Are you participating in the music environment? Have you decided what direction? Then what did you want to do with your life? What are you passionate about?
Yeah. No. At that time, I was.
Or did you even know?
At that time, I was a nerd. At that time, I was an academic.
So you did pretty well in books.
Yeah. But music wasn't in the picture. I was just a fan of music. I never even pictured myself as a musician or imagined myself as a musician. No. At that time, no. Not at all.
You know, because I've had the privilege of having side conversations with you, and you are an intellect. You're a very intelligent person with a third degree perspective on a lot of things.
Thank you.
So were you like this in school? Were you doing well in the books?
Yeah, I was doing pretty well with the books. In fact, that's where I thought I was going. I thought I was going to be more in the academic or corporate sort of space. I never thought I was in the arts. The arts, I always... I'm an introvert, naturally. In fact, like according to my personality test, I'm almost 80% introverted. Yeah. So, in fact, a lot of people, when they see me now, they think, oh, I easily, you know, speak, but there was years in my life where just speaking in front of 5 people, it was a big problem. I was super introverted, yeah, and I enjoyed my time alone. I wasn't bothered, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So then, because I was introverted, the idea of performing or singing in front of people,
out of the picture.
Out of the question.
Yeah, it's not even in the picture.
Out of the question. But to myself, I would obviously note down little, you know, I would see, like I would watch and I would see, I listen to a lot of music and I would try to write my own raps, you know, and just rap to myself and sing to myself. But I didn't know that there's anything there. I just did it as something that's to pass time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you finish school, what's next? And what year is this that you're finishing this second high school day school that you go to?
I'm terrible with years.
Okay.
With years in regards to mapping out my life in regards to years, I'm so terrible.
Okay, no problem.
But basically, yeah, when I finished, I worked for a little bit.
Where did you work?
I worked for my dad, actually. And
Okay.
my dad is an HR, a human resource consultant. Yeah, so I worked with him for a couple of years. Doing
Years?
No, sorry, just a year.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
yeah. I worked for him just for a year. And yeah, I think that showed me, I think working with him that year actually sort of defined a lot of my perspective in regards to work. I think because we used to recruit for companies.
Yep.
So we'd recruit for different companies and CEOs or whatever. If they were looking for an accountant, we would headhunt and stuff like that. So when I saw that sort of the rat race that exists in the corporate space, and, you know, some guy comes and, you know, oh, you are overqualified for this position, you know, like, so you go through school and then now you're overqualified. You know, all those kind of dynamics. I didn't realize how much I learned in that year and how much that would define me. So when I went to university.
When did you go to university?
Yeah, again. So in regards to timelines, trust me.
No, not when, but where?
Oh, where? Oh, okay. Where I went to Monash University in South Africa. I went to study business systems. Yeah. So
it's in Joburg?
It's in Joburg, yeah.
Okay.
It's in Joburg, yeah. So I went to study business systems. So I got an honors degree in business systems.
You finished?
Yeah, I finished. Yeah.
You're not just a rapper, bro.
Yeah. Not just a rapper, bro.
With honors.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
good, big ups, man.
Thanks. Yeah. So
How was South Africa? Because South Africa is very different. I've been to Joburg. It's very different from Lusaka, even.
yeah,
Even now, even
Yeah.
the Lusaka now and the Joburg, it's night and day.
yeah.
So tell me about your experience in.
Joburg, I think I lived there. I would say I lived in a bubble there. I lived in a bubble. The thing is, the university that we were at was it was a multinational university. So it was an Australian university that basically opened a branch there. So it saved a lot of African students from going to Australia.
Yep.
But you get the same degree, the same kind of education, same
Yep.
standard. Yeah. So it had a lot of. I mean, I had friends from Congo, Nigeria, all sorts of places. So because of that, even the community that I was found with, even in South Africa, unfortunately, I didn't get the time or the opportunity to mingle too much with the South Africans.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were with an international community
Well, with
in
an
South
international
Africa.
community in South Africa. So mainly I would, even like if it was parties, I would mainly go to like Nigerian parties, or most of my friends were Nigerian, Zimbabwean. Yeah. Because I think they are, obviously on the African continent, I would say there are those countries that have, and Kenya, I had a lot of Kenyan friends. Yeah, many Kenyan friends as well. So I think my experience in South Africa wasn't a South African experience.
Yeah. But it was still an experience with,
Yeah.
in fact, the fact that it was an international experience says a lot.
Yeah.
Says a lot. No music. But are you just living the usual, what do you call this, international student life, where it's school, parties, back to school, sometimes
100%.
no school?
100%. But maybe I'll mention before that, before I went to SA, I did a mixtape here while I was in Zambia.
You did a mixtape?
In that year that I was working, basically the money that I was earning from that work, I decided to do a mixtape.
Okay, rewind.
Yeah.
Let's come back, because by the time you're doing a mixtape, it means now you've got to the point where you're like, yo, I need to experience this rap gift.
Not really, to be honest. At the time, what it was is that, so while I was in school,
Yep.
while I was in school, a friend of mine registered me for a talent show. Without I didn't register for the talent show. He registered for me in the talent show. So when we were seeing the list that was published, the people who are competing in the talent show,
Yep.
I find my name there. He's the one who. So I actually did it because I was an introvert. I didn't know how people would receive my gift. But yeah, so I went there and I did the talent show. That was the first time I saw, and I got a standing ovation, which was, to my surprise, like, okay, wow.
Did you sing? Did you rap or did you sing?
I rapped, but I rapped like it was like poetry, but I rapped the poetry. Yeah.
So by the time your friend was putting you in, how did your friend know? Your friend knew
So
you
he
were
was
an
one
introvert.
he was one of those friends who I shared these things I used to scribble down. I was like, listen to this. And he was like my first fan, if you would say.
yes,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
it was like, bro, you need to do this. Like, you need to share this with people. But I was like, no. This is just, yeah.
So you won.
I did.
You won.
I did, yeah.
So that's now what made you decide to do the mixtape, or what happened?
So I decided, the mixtape, I just decided to do it. What happened is that after that, I decided to battle rap. So there were two things, obviously, that I was playing rugby. So I played rugby for the Zambian team as well, for the Zambia national team, for the under 21 team.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. You're just living out these stories. You played rugby. First of all, I'm shocked because you're the biggest guy.
I know.
What position did you play?
I played wing.
Okay.
So they got me from athletics because I was
Speed.
I was because of speed. Yeah, so I was very good at athletics. So inter-school racing, I had the record for 200 meters. So that's why they got me. They just said, okay, we're taking you to rugby. So that's how I started playing rugby. Not that I wouldn't say I had a passion for it or whatever, but I thought, hey, okay, let me try it out.
Yo!
And then I made it to the under 21 national team. Yeah, so that phase, it was a lot of rugby, a lot of obviously working. And then the mixtape was just, I started battle rapping as well. So I used to go to there was a lot of battle rap like locations. Like there was a little, not far from here where we are actually, there was a little like, it was a bar called Chinegwa's. So they used to meet there and rappers would battle. So first time I went there, I just went to watch and I was amazed, like, wow, like how these guys off the cuff would like just come up with like crazy. And I thought it was poetry. So basically it's art. And I thought that, you know what, maybe let me try it out. So I got in and started battle rapping. Ended up the battle rap champion as well there. So from there is when now one of the producers, big producers here called TK, heard about me
as a battle rapper.
He heard about me, and he said, you know what, you should come to studio and we should do some tracks. Yeah. So I raised like a little bit of money off the work, and then I went to the studio. I only had money to record 2 tracks. Yeah. But we were having so much fun in studio, like TK was like, you know, let's record another. Let's record another one. And then we ended up just having an entire mixtape. I think there were like 12 songs, which I didn't pay for. Yo. So shout out to TK, because like it was pure passion. Like he was a businessman, so he would charge like for recording purely. Like it wasn't like no, but like he would just say, you know what, if I'm free, just come through. Because I think also when you have a love for something, I think it became like his passion project. I think it's one of the things that I really, when I look back, I feel like, okay, TK played definitely a significant role. So TK was absolutely the biggest producer. He gave you your first studio. And he was the biggest producer.
In the country?
In the country. So it was, for me, it was like, wow. Like, so I did the mixtape, finished it.
Dude, that means you must have been good. Like, first of all, you're winning. You're just winning in life.
This guy.
You're winning 200 meters. You're in the Zambian national team as a wing. You're winning battle raps.
Yeah.
Then now you're like, dude, this sounds like one of those. Like, no, but I also understand you must be good to do that. Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think.
First of all, apologies in case you're wondering about the sound. We're just near a bit of a construction, but we still have to do the interview.
Oh yeah.
Still going.
Yeah. So obviously did that mixtape, and then it was hip hop. Hip hop in this country was not that big here. At that time, hip hop was more like a very underground thing. In fact, the only DJ who ever played my song while I was here with that mixtape was a DJ called Sush. He passed away. But I remember even like the joy of getting the song played on radio.
Oh, man. Can you remember what song it was?
It was a song called Miss Ting Ting.
I'm a superstar, you know. Pompi. Bravo Records. Let's go. Ha.
Miss Ting Ting, what you like tonight? What you drinking? What you like tonight? Cause your body shape coke, that's bright. Touch upon, I think I might. Miss Ting Ting, you wanna gas the attention of all the fellas with your skirt so slight. What you drinking? Let me spoil you a little bit nice before you take flight.
She was an air hostess, call it fly on flight, spontaneous and focused, call it fly with sight. Girl, I was hoping, like white on rice, we gon' get closer. Baby, I don't bite unless you want me to. Then I might put you in the backseat of the white on white. So pick the restaurant, trust the price, cause girl, you dealing with the goddamn boss. touch me and reach out for a star. You're lucky to reach out for a star. Many wanna reach out for a star who flyer than Jupiter, Pluto, Mars. So while I'm here, better make your wish. While my game complimented by your favorite dish. Don't worry, I don't kiss and snitch, but what your man don't know won't hurt him. Aish.
Miss Ting Ting, what you like, what you drinking, what you like, cause your body shape coke, that's bright. Touch upon, I think I might. Miss Ting Ting, you wanna cast the attention up on the belly with your skirt so slight. What you drinking? Let me spoil you a little bit nice before you take flight. Man, to get to you and oops, there goes that skirt. You wanna show me all that you can do and oops, there goes my shirt. This is a pack to get to you and oops, there goes that skirt. You wanna show me all that you can do and oops, there goes that shirt. Take me there, take me there, take me there. I wanna go there. We don't need a
Miss Ting Ting.
Miss Ting Ting.
Hey, bro, that's the kind of music you're doing then.
Yeah, I don't want to go into the details about what I was talking about. But it was, it was a song appreciating women.
I love it.
Miss Ting Ting.
All this is before you go to South Africa.
Before I went to South Africa,
Okay.
yeah. So I would say, yeah, that song got played, but I wouldn't say I got like any mainstream fame. So that's so that may say mixtape. When I went to SA and I don't know, to university, I mean, I just handed it to a couple of friends who are in my, obviously I had a lot of these Nigerian, Zimbabwean friends.
Yeah.
So when I spread it to them, it really like went viral. It actually went viral now to the universities. I was invited to different universities to perform.
What?
Yeah, whenever there was like a university concert, like maybe there's these big South African, I don't know if you know Deleuze and
Yes.
you know all these guys, Double HP.
Yeah.
The opening acts, you always needed opening acts, so I would open for them.
Yo.
So yeah, so it just started to grow, and the whole university, I would say, knew me to be, you know, a musician. But funny enough, the whole time still, I was like, look, this thing, I'm just having fun. This is not who I am. I'm just having fun. Like so I just like the fame, the attention, you know what, you know, it was suddenly from being an invisible person, you know, suddenly in the university, everyone, you know, gets to know who you are, and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, so basically that's
Okay.
that was
That's crazy.
like, yeah.
So you had a full, like, that was a heavy university experience in terms of being a celeb. You get, in terms of connecting with all this, being known for rap, but also really doing well in school. So your parents are not really pissed off about you and thinking that you're joking.
I would say that I was good in school. In university, I was good. I was at my best in the beginning. But as we went on, I think the experience I had with recruiting, with the HR, I sort of realized that, look, I'm not going to be, this business system, first of all, I'm not passionate about it, so I know I'm not going to be the best at this. And I mean, no, I just thought, like, you know what, no one ever remembers second place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did your dad
you know the
expect
world champion, but you don't know the second guy.
It's true.
You know Mayweather, but just number 2. It seems like it's very close, but you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
You know, so
The 100 meters just ended. We have no idea who was number 2.
exactly. So yeah, I mean, went that phase, and I started doing business now when I was in university.
Okay, first question is, did your dad expect you to come and take over the business? Was that expectation there?
The expectation,
It was his business.
I would say that my dad always gave freedom. I think I was very fortunate because my dad always gave freedom, even religious freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, even religious freedom. At no point with my family would it be that if I decided to be a Muslim that I would feel, or if I decided to be anything, that I would feel like, oh, my family is going to
Disown me.
I think my dad has always encouraged critical thinking, and he would question your decision, But if you can justify your logic and your reasoning, I mean, he was okay. Yeah, he was okay. But at the time, the story to this point, by no means was I a Christian. I would define myself as an atheist.
Atheist.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. I get it. So I heard you say you were doing business in school. You started doing business in school.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Anyway, I used to travel to China, to Guangzhou, and buy computer parts and build.
Joking. In uni?
In uni, yeah.
Okay, you traveled to
Guangzhou, China, buy computer parts, and I used to build PCs and laptops for students. So the PCs and laptops were quite expensive in SA at the time. So yeah, I used to build PCs for students because and we'll do all these different kind of tricks to make sure the pricing is low.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, you in one, I don't know if you remember, there was those desktops.
Yeah.
So you take in a desktop, in there are like 20 hard drives, and they're like in another one there's like 10 motherboards. You know, and then obviously when we get to SA, we just used to buy the casing. You would buy a casing; it wasn't very expensive.
Yeah.
And you just fit in the parts and screw.
Where were you getting the capital to travel to China?
I asked for a loan from my dad. So what's funny is, we always laugh about it with my dad. One day I go to my dad and I told him, look, I want a certain amount of money, and I'll never ask you for money again. Yeah. So he gave me that amount of money, and that's how it started. And yeah, it was doing very well when I was in school. Actually, it's obviously, I think in the business journey you sort of have learned like certain things. But yeah, I was doing very well, but at the same time spending my money very well also. Yeah, I did things where you look back, you know, moved into a white neighborhood.
What?
You know, so yeah, I mean, I was doing very
moved
well.
into Santon.
No. There was just like where we lived. Me and a very good friend of mine still.
Yeah.
We lived into an estate. We moved into an estate where no students lived in that estate. It wasn't like a student estate. It was more for and I think we're one of the few black people who lived in there. But
so did you go to China often? Like, did you go more than once?
Yeah, I went there about 3 times. Yeah.
To just buy these parts?
To buy these parts and then come back.
Okay, when you get to China, how do you even know where you're buying parts from?
So my entrance into China.
In China.
What's this?
You stand out like a sore thumb in China.
Straight. No, but what's funny is, I mean, Nigerians are everywhere. Nigerians are they are the hustlers.
Yeah.
Nigeria, at the time when I was going to China, Nigerians had clubs in China.
Okay,
I was thinking like, wow, the ambition. We would go to different places. They'll say, oh, that's the Nigerian area. You know, they had like a whole section where all the shops are owned by Nigerians.
So how did you know? What made you even decide to go to China to buy this stuff?
So my sister used to do a lot of import-export stuff, orders for different people, corporations, some government. And I was always fascinated by what she did. So she was taking a trip, and I just said, look, I really want to tag along, and I want to
scout.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, I think the best place for me to China is their advantage is that their technology is cheap. So let me go there, buy technology, and sell it for cheap. Yeah. So I did a little course for about 3 months. It was called MS-DOS, Computer Repair and MS-DOS. I did that training so that I could be able to build the PCs so that I could sell. Yeah. So
you see why I introduced you as a businessman. The thing is that is so entrepreneurial. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in university. You've got this income that you're getting, which is wonderful. You're not doing too badly in books, or this of course becomes a distraction.
So it became a distraction. Actually, one semester I flunked all my courses. Oh no, I didn't flunk O. I passed 1. And my parents recognized that there's something, because I was doing very well. But what it is now I was just thinking my focus now became the business rather than school.
Yeah.
So I mean, my parents were quite disappointed, and I decided on my own that, you know what, let me stop the business, which I regret. Let me stop the business and let me focus on school. Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously I got back on track with school.
So why do you regret it?
I think I regret it because I think school is not there to when an opportunity presents itself in regards to business, school is not a guarantee of success. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, by no means is it a guarantee of success, especially in Africa. Yeah. So, I mean, I had an opportunity that could have grown to become massive, but I exchanged that to chase a paper which doesn't come with any guarantees. That paper is what I'll chase to go and find opportunity, but I had one. So I forfeited an opportunity to search for a paper with no guarantees.
Okay.
So that's why I feel I should have sort of managed both.
Yeah.
And worked a bit more effectively to manage both. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that's why
I get it. I love it. In fact, just to tease people, you've actually done a TED Talk. And we are going to come to that. A TED Talk on this whole conversation of education. And so I'm understanding the roots of the two, where it comes from.
Yeah.
Okay, so your life has these 3 things which have already come in very strongly. So first and foremost, there's education, there's business, and then there's music. All these 3 different things are playing a part in your in this season of your life. Okay, so you sort of leave the business and you take school seriously. What about the music? Does that evolve? Does that get bigger? Are you being paid even by the universities that are calling you?
Yes. Okay, at that time, we're being paid in cool things, like I can go into VIP.
Yeah.
You know, drinks are on the house.
Yep.
You know, I'm just chilling with Double HP. So at the time, music, I didn't even monitor. I didn't even think of it as a business. I just
it's a dope, and it's fun.
It's just fun. You know, it was just something that was fun for me.
And have you recorded anything new in SA at this time, or it's just your mixtape that you're taking?
It's just my mixtape.
Okay.
So now, when things I think became serious, is when I did. He's late now. His name was Mandiva, but he came to my university, and he came to drop off his young brother, and he didn't know that I'm at that university. So I was walking from where I used to live was very close to him, so I would usually just walk to my home. Yeah. So on my way home, this Mandiva, you know, is driving, and he's like driving by, and he's like keeps on staring. You know, where there's traffic, and he's like slow in traffic, and he just keeps on looking on the side and where I'm walking. And I noticed him like, this guy. So he actually stops and parks the car on the side. Says, "Excuse me, are you Pompi?" So I say, "Yeah, I'm Pompi."